What's up, everybody? It is Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it's your boys, Mike and Mish, back from South Carolina with the Mike and Mish Show. What up, Mike?
What is going on, Kyle? Just chilling.
Dude,
glad to be back.
We are back. We're back from a fantastic trip to Columbia, South Carolina, the home of the Cocks, Mike.
Yes. That is correct. The Gamecocks, that is.
Carolina Gamecocks.
Yep.
Dude, what a fucking fantastic event it was. We're going to talk about that shit in a minute. We're going to bring on a few amazing guests tonight. We got the reigning, defending BKFC middleweight champion, Dave Redneck Mundell, coming on. He is going to be talking to us for a little while, and then we're going to bring his opponent on that he's going to be fighting in the main event of BKFC 53, Doug ColdRed Coltrane, 3-0, fast rising, quick to a championship shot at the title. Yeah. We're going to talk to both of those guys about all that shit. But before we do that, we got to do some sponsor reads.
Sponsors.
Let's do the sponsors real quick, and then we'll talk about our craziness down in South Carolina. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right. Who do we got first, Mike? We got these bad boys right here.
Hey, it's the Shave Parlor. Best fades and shaves in Cape Coral, Florida. Certified shave and fade masters and beard specialists, Jay, Omar, Heather, and Nate. We added 2 to the crew. 2 live crew. It's 4 live crew now. Check them out. Yeah, 4 live crew. Check them out at 101 Del Prado and Boulevard in Cape Coral, Florida.
They are the shit.
They are
and from what I hear, Mike, Nate is not the biggest fan of bare knuckle fighting. So Nate, you need to get your ass on board, or all our fans that come see you guys at the Shave Parlor are gonna go see Jay and Omar and Heather, and they're gonna say, "Fuck that dude, Nate. We don't need his goddamn clippers on our head. We don't need that shit."
Oh,
anyways,
my God, naughty Nate, tisk.
Naughty Nate. Shout out to the Shave Parlor. Up next, we got, dude, the BK Bet Shark. I have not seen his bet tickets from this past weekend, but I'm sure he cleaned house. I think I did see him post something. I think he went 5-1, maybe something like that.
Oh, I didn't see it, but I did see other people who bet, and he shared some bets from other people.
Okay,
and they won.
So what you guys got to do is you got to get your asses over to at BK Bet Shark on Instagram. Follow this guy. Pay the $50 a month. Listen to his advice and win yourself some damn money, because he's nothing but a winner over there at BK Bet Shark. Here we go. On our newest. What do we got, Mike?
We have Dynamic Life, weight loss, sexual health, anti-aging. Company was founded by a team of medical professionals with over 25 years of experience in regenerative medicine, anti-aging, weight loss, and sexual wellness. Take back control of your life now. Go to www.livedynamic.com and become a patient in just 20 seconds, and check out the Dynamic Life Instagram page at Live Dynamic. That is LIVDYNAMIC, Live Dynamic. Get over there and become
get control of your life. That is LIV without the E. So everyone knows. Even their website is www.livdynamic.com. So check them out. Thank you guys for jumping on board. All 3 of those sponsors are awesome. You guys should support them for supporting us. Mike, we just got back from South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina. Mike and I didn't even know that Columbia, South Carolina was the damn capital of South Carolina before we even went there, because it was Stu Nods.
Yep.
But great place. Would have been greater if the University of South Carolina was not on fall break.
Yeah, it would have been insane.
What is this fall break? I didn't know they had fall. What is that, dude? Is that a thing? I don't think all colleges do that, by the way. I think these
Would you get a break for just starting?
I know. And now
you started
when college kids go on fall break, do they like hit up Cancun and like do the same crazy shit?
Or do they go to Maine?
Or do they go skiing in Maine?
They hang out at Old Orchard Beach and they watch the leaves fall and change colors.
They go up to
chlorophyll, more like borophyll.
Nah, man, we got down there. The BKFC scheduled this event a long time ago without knowing that the South Carolina Gamecocks, rest their Gamecocks during this week of the fall, which is fucking asinine.
Yes,
You
it
just
is.
started school, you fucking lazy ass kids. Anyways, we had a great time down there. We went out, we did some marketing, we met a bunch of people in town anyway, and it was a good time. Mike, what do you know about a stage 5 clinger who likes to just dance out in front of any bar you go
Oh
to
my
down in South
God. What was with this guy? Oh my. So we all went out to a pizza place. Was it called Blue Pizza, I
Blue
believe?
Pizza, yeah. Very good place.
Pretty good place. There
Little
was a
greasy,
picture.
not bad.
I was just looking for the picture, but I realized it's on my phone, and maybe I'll share it on here and bring it up in a little while. But DJ Tony posted it on Instagram. So go over to DJ Tony Orozco's page, and you'll see a picture of probably good 15, 20 of us at a table, right? Eating pizza. Actually, there were some more people there too, because Joe Elmore was there and his wife, and there was a couple more just outside. We forgot to go grab them outside to have them come in for the picture. I noticed that when I looked at the picture earlier. But there was also somebody else that wasn't in the picture, but he was there. And actually, I encountered this man, this random man. He was walking out of this place, and he was like dancing.
He was he was getting down, dude.
And he was dancing coming out the door. So I was like, oh, watch out, watch out. And so I walked by this guy, and he was in and out all night, the pizza joint, right? And then we all leave the pizza place, and we go over to some like outdoor bar, clubbish type place, right?
Yeah.
This dude is on the outside of the wall, hanging out there too. I'm like,
He wasn't allowed in because I believe he was homeless. I
didn't ask him.
We didn't ask him, but he had all the makings of somebody who didn't live in a home.
Yeah.
So he was not allowed to get in because he didn't have any identification. So what they had was like this waist high stone wall around the whole bar. The dude stood right outside the stone wall, just fucking like Mike said.
He did everything we did, but this far away from where we were standing. I don't know how we got there.
It's crazy, dude. It's like every city we go to, Kevin Smith says it all the time. Like it's not a dull moment when we're around, and we don't try to find this kind of shit. It just kind of finds us. It's hilarious. I tried to buy the dude a shot, and they stopped me because they said I could not hand booze over the wall off the property. And I felt bad. I was gonna try to get the guy a little lit up because I'm pretty sure he might have been lit on some other shit, but whatever.
Yeah.
Great times, dude. But let's talk about this event, man. And there's so much to talk about, but we're gonna have Dave Mundell coming on pretty soon. I wanted to talk about a couple things in particular. Of course, we got to talk about the co-main event, and we'll get to that first. But the first thing we got to do is congratulate Keith Rockstar Richardson for probably capping off one of the best single years a BKFC fighter has ever had.
Oh, yeah.
I said it in the press conference, and I'll say it again right now. Started off the year, fight of the year, possible fight of the year. Justin Scoggins and him set the tone for 2023 like nobody else could. It was unbelievable. He does that. Then he comes out, he gets 2 first-round knockouts in his next 2 fights, earns himself a shot at Reggie Barnett, who is walking into his 11th or 12th fight for the BKFC. Reggie Barnett, Mr. BKFC 1, fighting on BKFC 52 against the Rockstar Richardson. Keith goes in there and, nothing against Reggie, just absolutely dominates the whole fight. Reggie, if I'll ask you your opinion in a second here, Mike, but I'll just say that Reggie, to me, didn't look like himself. He looked kind of flat-footed. He wasn't, I guess, spry or light on his feet like he usually is. He usually has good footwork. He's bouncing around. He's in and out. He likes to get in the clinch and play some dirty work in the clinch in most of his fights. He seemed like he was avoiding the clinch the entire fight, which made me wonder if he was, I don't want to say afraid, but he just or he felt Keith's power right off the bat and was like, man, I don't think I could be in there. And then it hit the break in between round 1 and 2, and you heard how upset his father was with him.
Yes.
And then Keith goes out there and finishes it in the second. What's your thoughts on that main event with Reggie Barnett, one of the greatest that ever did it, against, the guy who's owned this year?
Just what you said, pretty much. But I was so surprised. I think everybody was surprised. Not that I think that Keith couldn't do it. I totally believe Keith could do it.
Exactly.
We've seen Keith fight. We know his power. We know his MMA career, but we know Reggie, and we've seen what he does in bare knuckle. And I was so surprised that Reggie just didn't seem to take off. And, that's probably props to Keith, right? We haven't heard from Reggie really. I think Kyle wrote to him, but we didn't really hear back from him yet. I don't think he's ready to speak, but I'm sure he'll come out and say, hey, this is what happened and this is what it is. He trained with Lorenzo. Lorenzo was very confident when we talked to Lorenzo that he was.
His dad was confident.
His dad was very confident, as they should be. But he just never quite took off. And like you said, he didn't really get into the clinch. Now, I don't know if that's because he felt Keith's power and he didn't really want to, get too crazy, maybe fight a little bit, feel him out, and then start to implement his game plan, because he knows, like, hey, Keith's got some power. I don't want to be silly and run in. I'm going to be smart about this. But he ended up getting clipped. And I think after he got clipped, he never truly recovered. The first one, I think he wasn't too bad for him.
Right.
But the second time when he got hit at the beginning of the second round, I don't think he recovered from that one. I think that kind of messed him up a bit, and he just didn't seem to really ever, get any footing in there.
We talked about it that night, and what his father said to him in between rounds was great coaching. Like, his dad knows his boy, and first thing you see Reggie walk over to the ropes and put his hands on the ropes, and he's just standing there, and his dad's like, sit down. What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? And you know what Reggie said? I don't know. And he was like, none of that. Forget that.
He goes, yes.
You don't have time. You know what you're doing. There's no time for feeling out. You know what you're doing. Get in there, stick and move. I can't remember
exactly. Let your hands go.
He said something about like popping a jab and follow with a hook, or he said something like that. But his dad was giving him sound advice. Oh yeah. His old man he knew Reggie was not in his right mind. And Big Ben said it right there. It's funny that he says stuck in the sand. I said to Mike right before we came on here, to quote the great Conor McGregor, he looked a little stuck in the mud. He looked a little stuck in the mud.
He had a bad
fight. Didn't. Yeah, he looked flat-footed.
And Keith had a great fight.
Yeah. And the question is,
Keith having a great fight could have made him have a bad fight. That's what we always wonder. You know what I mean? Keith just looks so good. He looked unstoppable.
I cannot, dude. I cannot.
Really good.
I cannot wait to see like end of year awards for this year, because like we said, at 39 years old, Keith Richardson could be the rookie of the year for the BKFC. He could be the fighter of the year for BKFC. He could be winner of one half of the fight of the year for BKFC and end the year with a strap around his waist. Unfucking believable. Hats off. Yeah. Cheers to the Marine. Dude.
I don't see him fighting again this year. So
that sounded nothing like an Irish accent. You do one better, you fucking cocksucker. Jesus Christ. You know what? I don't need your shit. Shout out to Russ. Shout out to Country, Big Ben.
Oh yeah.
Joe ID, Monica. We love all you guys.
Carmine.
Beers, Bowls, and Brawls. What's up now? Guys, it was amazing. Shout out, let's go, boy. Right there. Shout out, let's go, boy, for sure. I hope we see those two fools out in Salt Lake City. I bet you we will. Tony Loco Soto. The rankings came out. Tony has been grinding his fucking ass off on his route to a title shot. And he was 5-0 going in there against a UFC veteran who only had 2 bare knuckle fights. And a lot of people were like, why is he fighting Kevin Kroom? He's only 2-0. And who gives a fuck? They made the event. They made the fight. Kevin Kroom, I don't know if I've ever seen anybody come forward that much in a vertical fight. And maybe Melanie Shaw. That might be the only one. Now that I say this out loud, but Melanie Shaw, he was like the male version of Melanie Shaw, because from bell 1 to last bell of the fight, Kevin Kroom was straightforward at Tony Soto. And Tony, I'd never seen Tony against the rope so much in his entire life, but Tony was picking him off on the way in every single time. And then when it got real dirty against the ropes, Kevin Croom wasn't really doing much with it. And you could tell by the damage at the end of the fight that Kevin Croom was wearing that shit. And
Oh
like
my God, was he?
and we were saying during that fight, it was very almost frustrating for the people watching the fight there,
Yes.
including us,
There was a lot of booze.
because it looked like, dude, did it not look like Tony can just Kevin was coming so wild at him in such full speed. It looked like he could have just olayed his ass. You know what I mean? Like fucking bullfighter.
Swim
Just
move around him.
just circle out and let him run his fucking face right into the damn ropes, because it didn't look like Kevin had any control over these drives forward. Tony chose to stay in there and fight back, in which he did, and it came out amazing. And congrats to Tony. What were your thoughts on that, Mike?
I think that Tony was just like, I'm gonna let him kind of push me back against the ropes and use himself. He's pushing me forward. He's not doing them. He would take 3 or 4 clean shots,
Mm-hmm.
and then Tony would get backed up. Croom's just swinging wildly. Lots of hits behind the head.
Yeah.
Face raking, holding the ropes, neck, forearm on the neck, all sorts of
shoulders,
stuff, right? Crazy, like stiff, that is typically illegal. But the thing is, he does that, but Tony like would immediately just kind of just move his head, go like this, hope out, get him in that 2 arms up, or get his arms tied up around his shoulders or something, and then the rest like nothing's going on, got to break it up again. Then he would just immediately just start coming forward.
Drive forward.
Tony would take the clean 4 or 5 shots, get back up. There's a bunch of crazy wild shots. Tony sent him in the body, grabs him up, break him up again. Every time, though, Tony's just racking up 3, 4, 5 shots every single time Croom came in. Croom would land like maybe 1 out of 4 shots, maybe 1 out of 5 shots every time he came in. But Tony was landing like every single shot, and they were loud. They were loud. We were right next to the ring, and that shit was loud, and you could see his head. Boom, boom. I'm sure on TV you could see it even better, but the sound was intense.
And you know what the crazy shit about that is like, we were pretty sure that Tony won the fight because Tony was piecing him up on the way in. But in a fight that's that dirty like that the guy in the center of the ring is controlling the fucking action the entire fight, which was Kevin Croom. Kevin Croom was the one dictating the fight the entire time.
Where it went. Yeah.
Yes, he absolutely controlled where the fight went. And you never know with these judges, like what they're looking for. And yeah, Kevin Croom he looked super bad at the end of the fight.
Damaged.
But Tony did have a couple marks on him. But most of the fight, these judges, these 3 judges that you do not know, are sitting there watching Tony's back against the ropes. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And they might not know exactly what the hell they're looking at. They might not know that Tony is fucking landing these slick shots on the way in. And like, it's scary to fucking go all 5 rounds like that in a fight like that, because although it was a shitty fucking, I mean, maybe not a shitty game plan by Kevin Croom, it was a grimy one.
Yeah, I
and
felt
it could have
like
worked.
Been a better game plan if he had.
And it could have worked if Tony landed less shots. Kevin Croom would have won the fight.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was able to parry, dodge some shots on the way in, land some shots of his own, and then if you're gonna get somebody in a clinch against the ropes, it doesn't look like it looks like he trained to get him against the ropes, but once he got there, it's like, now what am I doing? Because
right.
He didn't like grab him with the half tie and try to. He just kind of just kept his head. It was like an MMA fight.
It was the same thing for 5 straight
on
rounds.
The chest, and he was trying to like punch like this, but most of the time he was hitting the back of Tony's head because Tony knew, oh, it's good this side, that side, this side, that side. So I'm like, what is going on here? Why wouldn't he change that up if it's not working?
Exactly. It was the same
for 5
attack.
rounds.
It was the same exact attack for 5 straight rounds, and Tony knew how to counter it for 5 straight rounds, and that's why Tony fucking swept the judges and took it home to move 6-0, move his ass up to number 1 in the ranks where he rightfully should be, and he's probably going to get himself a title shot if all things fucking work out the way they should. Before we,
there it is.
What do you got?
Tony Soto at number 1.
Number 1. Good. Yep. Congratulations to Tony. You deserve that, man. 6-0. Your last two opponents were extremely tough, and for all the haters that say you fight somebody, those last two, and you know what, his first couple of opponents were tough too. So fuck off, everybody. You don't choose your opponents. You know what I mean? They offer them, and he takes them. So that was amazing. And I'll tell you, man, the damage that Kevin Kroom was wearing at the end of that fight was, something that a fight photographer dreams of. You know what I mean? The pictures were awesome. They were fucking great.
Here's the punches landed.
All right.
62.
Is this per round? What are we looking at?
So this is totals.
Go to totals altogether. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
at the
right
top
here.
there. Look at Tony.
So they're a bit different than initially.
He threw 200. He landed 202 out of 225 thrown. That's fucking
89.8%.
That's nuts.
So it was a bit different at first, but now I don't know if they recount it. Remember, it was like 99 or something. Yeah. Or was that a different stat that I'm thinking of? Because I remember there was a 99.
No, they had like a 98 or 99% land rate. That was something on there, but awesome job by that guy there. Him and Keith kind of owned the night, but we got to give a few shout outs before we move on and bring on our first guest of the night. The first fight of the night, Trevor Loken lost his opponent, and Bekzad Usmanov.
Yeah,
I said his name right. Bekzad Usmanov. Dude, Bekzad is a fucking problem. And I was standing there with a couple guys and in the arena, and they're like, Trevor's probably the easiest bet of the night, right? I go, what? I'm like, no. I said, nothing against Trevor. Do you know who that guy is? They're like, no, who's he? I'm like, that guy is a fucking serious problem for most people at 135. And he took this fight and he's moving up to 145 on a day's notice. And I don't feel good for Trevor at all in this fight, to be honest with you. He took Jimmy Rivera bell to bell and damn near beat him. And Jimmy Rivera was a perennial top fiver in the UFC bantamweight division. And they're like, oh, and then Bekzad went out and did what he did. Unbelievable performance by him. I wanted to say that Daniel Cooper, I didn't know this kid before that night, but I want to be best friends with him. He's the nicest
guy ever.
Nicest guy I think I've ever met in my life. Truckin' Carson is also an extremely nice guy, and he looked amazing that night too. So shout out to Truckin'. But Daniel Cooper is a hugger.
Oh, dude.
He's smile is ear to ear. He comes backstage and he's covered in the other guy's blood. And we're like, hey, good job. We
just give him like a fist bump or a handshake.
He's like, no, bring it in. I'm like,
he says, can I get a hug? That's what he said to you.
Yeah,
you gave him a fist bump or something, and he was just walking.
Get a hug?
They're just sweating. They're going to the doctors. They're going to medical just to get checked out. This dude's never met us in his life. He's just walking by us, and Kyle's like, oh, good job. Gives him a little fist bump, Lael's
give me a hug, man.
He stops. He goes, can I get a hug? Like, dude, dead serious. And I was like, is he kidding? He's not kidding. He wanted a hug.
I gave him the ass out hug, a la Wedding Crashers. Remember you get the weird ass out hug? I was like this. I was like, come on, give me the ass out hug. The ass out hug. And I ended up getting blood on my arm from him. It was fucking funny as hell. But shout out to him. It was a great night. If you guys didn't see the entire event, go back and watch the entire event because there was a lot of fucking awesome action that night. We had a blast. Congratulations to all the winners. Let's go ahead and bring on our first guest of the evening. What do you say, Mike?
I say let's do it. That's what I say.
Let's do it. We got the reigning, defending BKFC middleweight champion, Dave Mundell, who is going to defend his title in the main event, BKFC 53 down in Orlando, November 3rd. My wife's birthday. That's one main reason why I'm not going to be there. Here he is, the Redneck, Dave Mundell.
I'm starting to think you don't like me, dog. You don't have to come to the events no more.
No. You know what? Son of a bitch. When was the last one that we went to that you fought at? Dave Simpson?
Yeah, that was Tampa 2.
Tampa 2.
I think we've just run into him at other events, but he wasn't fighting, right?
We weren't at the Richmond one?
No.
You were on some type of...
I was at home.
I was at school?
Communication type deal or something.
Well,
yeah, you were at school. Yeah, you were at school.
I was at school.
You were like an hour and a half away. You should have went to it.
Yeah.
Dave, the second somebody offers me and Mike enough money to stop being in the military, I will put my retirement packet in. I will quit that shit. I will thank them for everything that they have given me as far as opportunities go, and I will get the fuck out of there, and I'll be at every single event. Promise.
So what's up?
It is what it is. So what's
that sounded bad.
That's what's up, man. So, dude, you're going in there, main event. You're defending your title again, and you're fighting a relatively newcomer. I would call him still. He's only 3 fights into his BKFC career. How's the training been going? How's things at the Shift MMA dungeon? And what are we looking at on November 3rd?
Everything is going good, man. You know, I'm training my ass off because I don't have a choice. I got to lose a lot of weight, so there's no overlooking anybody. And coming up to the card, you know, there's only one thing to expect, and I'm gonna put this guy away.
It's kind of like you're fighting a guy who has shown quite a bit of progression from fight 1 to fight 3 against Blake Lacaze. You would agree with that, right? You watched his videos, and from fight 1 to fight 3, totally different fighter.
I don't know. I didn't watch his previous fights. I was there live when he fought Blake Lacaze, and I didn't see anything too impressive. You know, he does good at like continuing to try to find a way, but he's just too new. You know, I just don't think he's been around long enough to deal with, you know, everything that I bring to the table.
You do got to kind of respect the guy who just finished his 3rd fight in your company and called you out.
Yeah,
didn't call you out by name, but he called you out by Redneck, right? That was ballsy of him, correct?
Yeah.
What did you think about that comment?
I at first, you know, I actually believe he was calling out the guy that had just knocked out Ricci after me, saying that he got lucky or something, and also kind of turned into me a little bit. But I mean, I wasn't. It's one of those things, like, that's what all these guys are supposed to be doing. I got the belt. It's what everyone wants, you know. Like, I don't understand why there's not more people, you know, yapping away. But I guess at the same time, nobody really wants to fight. So
one of your former opponents is back. He's making his return to the BKFC in the co-main event of that same event, right? Didn't you and you and Julian Lane scrap at one point?
Yeah.
Julian's back.
Orlando too. He's coming back. I've actually, I guess in a way, trained alongside him. We did a few sparring sessions together and shit like that through this camp.
Oh, nice.
As far as opponent levels go, right? Talking about Julian Lane, you fought Julian Lane, and we were talking about this earlier, and the people that you have fought in bare knuckle. Julian Lane, you fought Grosu, David Simpson, Francisco Ricci, where you got the title, and then seemingly unstoppable Mike Richmond. And you put him away in glorious fashion, I would say. So where do you think that Coltrane ranks among those fighters?
He's back on like the Grusso level. Like, I don't know. It's very strange to be fighting somebody like him. Like I said, I think he's brand new. He's brand new. I don't think he knows what he's getting himself into. But props to him for getting himself to fight. But I think that's all he managed to do.
This past weekend, we did see a fighter in the main event. A lot of people did say, like, hey, this guy's only 3-0. He's going to fight. And then he went against Barnett, who's come from the first event, right? And he did surprise a lot of people. Not saying it's going to happen. Not saying it's not going to happen. But
doesn't he have like some type of extensive background in fighting already?
He does.
I don't even know what Harry has, what type of background he has, if any at all. So it's again, it's just he's just brand new. His skill shows that, you know. It's what it is, though.
You're not the only Shift MMA person fighting coming up. I would imagine that your gym is like fire on all cylinders right now, right? Because you got yourself defending your title. You got Jared going overseas to enemy territory, fighting Danny Christie. You got Crystal Pittman fighting on the same card as you. Any other ones? Am I missing
We got
anybody?
Knox and Danny fighting on this one too. So there's actually 4 of us on this card.
Oh
And
shit.
Jared on the card overseas, and these are special times, man. It's the best, when we're all in there in camp together. It's just everyone's training hard. Like I think I spoke about this when we had the shift show last time, and it's just it's unmatched energy in there, just grinding and putting in the work. We are definitely at our best that way. Because if it's only one of us in the camp, the rest of us are like maybe do or don't show up one night at practice. It kind of, you got to go find your work, but there's none of that going on. We're in there every night grinding.
Dude, the proof is there. It's like fighters. I mean, the proof's in the pudding, right? That's what the saying says. You guys have been fucking doing your thing and winning and succeeding, and now fighters from other gyms are coming down to train with you guys, like Reber and you just said you trained with Julian, but like I heard Jessica Borga was there. We knew that Glendale Futrell started going there for a little while. I don't know if he still is, but it's like outside fighters are like, you know what? I need to get the fuck over there and see what the hell's going on. What's in the special sauce over there at the Shift MMA?
Yeah, it's our reputation's definitely taken off, and there's a reason for that. Like I said, we're all in there grinding, we're doing what we're supposed to. We're very familiar with the game, so it's just something that's gonna, I believe, continue to grow, and it's gonna be. They can come to a camp with us, but it's gonna be something special when they're actually announced to being part of the Shift Combat team. So it's definitely something to shoot for.
Do you think that I don't know how to even word this actually, because you are becoming a face of the BKFC. You hold the title. You should be undefeated. I will go to the grave with that. That loss against Hector Lombard was bullshit. Anybody could fucking say whatever they want to me. Go back and watch it. He didn't lose that fight. He's undefeated in my eyes. Anyways, on paper, he's got one loss. You are who you are within the company. You are who you are within the ranks. You are holding a title. Do you see the BKFC ever giving you a guy like Eddie Alvarez or Mike Perry? If Eddie was to beat Mike Perry, are you going to fight him? Like, would that happen?
Absolutely love to. And I do see it eventually, happening. I think my biggest demise in this sport is I'm not a shit talker. I don't go out there and make a bunch of noise, but what I do very well is fight. I come out, I put on a show, I do what I'm supposed to. I mean, I've been knocking everyone out in the last 3 fights in a row, and before that it was very high class chess matches. So it's gonna happen. It might take a little bit longer than somebody else who shoves tomatoes in people's faces, but it's gonna happen.
I think if you come out the victor on November 3rd, you absolutely should be in Salt Lake City December 2nd, ringside with that belt, pointing at that fucking thing.
Yep.
And pointing at whoever's in the ring saying, come get this shit. Come fucking get it.
You absolutely know it. It's exactly what I plan on doing.
I hope so. Bring the whole crew out there, man. I'm telling you. And make sure Jihad wears the nicest suit possible.
Yeah. You do, because you got to get FaceTime. You got your FaceTime, coming up this weekend. But when that Salt Lake City, Utah card comes in, you're there. And guys like me and Kyle are there with our cameras, and you got Mike Perry right here and Alvarez. And yes, that's their event, but you're there. You're the champ. You're the guy like, hey, how come you guys aren't trying to get this right here, this gold? This is what it's all about, right? This is what we're trying to get. Yeah, we want money, but what about the glory, right? What is this? You're going to dodge the best people. You know what I mean? I feel like that gives – you're not saying that's what he's doing, because we all know what's going on with the business. That's the business side. Like you just said, it kind of sucks in a way that's the way that fucking the shit rolls. But I think we are definitely going to this fight, and you've got to be there. If you're not there, it's insane.
Definitely gonna go make a statement. And I gotta be there. I gotta say something, because it's ridiculous. They're fighting for a belt at 175 or some crap. I heard like it's a fake belt. Like that just agitates me. It's bullshit, but that's okay, because they can have one of those, and I'll go take it from them too.
belt versus belt. You got to, I mean, it makes all the sense in the world. And for a guy like yourself that's been there for so long, grinding for the company and like putting on spectacular fights. And like you said, your last 3 have been extra spectacular on your run with this title. And now, you're defending it again. I mean, I don't know what else there is to do. Jod's in the comments saying that's the plan. You guys are going. You guys are going.
We're going.
Shift versus the world. Shift versus the world. He says it right there. And any news on? I mean, I'm not going to ask you to break news, but what's up with Brandon Allen, man? You got all these 100. You got all these 100. You got one
fighting. I thought he was going to be fighting in the Utah card. I kind of fight on the Utah card myself because I knew it was going to hold some bigger names. Things got swapped around a little bit. So I took the Orlando card, and I thought he was going to be fighting up there. And I guess Davis's, hand was hurt there for a little bit. I guess he says he's going to be ready, but it don't matter. Whatever. They'll fight. I'm pretty sure Davis will take the belt, and then Brandon will have to go take it from him. Easy work.
It's an impressive team you got there, and you're not the only champion wearing a cowboy hat in the ring these days. I don't know if you saw what happened this past weweekend. What'd you think?
Rockstar had all his cornermen wearing the cowboy hats. I did it first.
I think it was homage to the middleweight king, dude. That's what I think.
It's all right. I like it. We're gonna make them. We're gonna make it big. You're gonna see everyone in cowboy hats soon.
Yeah.
So looking at the rankings earlier today, we realized a glaring issue with the pound for pound list. Have you seen the pound for pound list lately?
I have.
And who's on it? The top 5? Well, much to your dismay, I'm sure you are not on it.
That's all right.
However,
blows my mind.
Does that make any sense? As you are 7-1, right? With a fight that we believe you won. You are a champion. You have beat other champions, a couple of them. How are you not there, but people who have only fought a few times and no champions and no belts are on there?
Too quiet. I need to talk some shit. It's the funniest thing ever when they come to do interviews at the gym. They always ask us what our message is for the fighter, and I gotta look around the gym and I mess up talking shit 6 times before we finally get on. That's all right. It's just who I am, Like I said, I just like to fight. That's what I'm good at. I don't need to talk shit. I can go in there and I can prove what I do.
The top 5, and not to harp on this, but Alan Belcher and fucking Houston Alexander are tied for number 5 in the top 5. Alan Belcher's not around anymore, and Houston Alexander's 3-0, and he hasn't left Nebraska. No offense to him. We do love Houston Alexander, but
UFC guys, so
it's just crazy.
Yeah, bigger, more well-known. Again, just comes back to just more people knowing who they are right now.
Are you gonna unveil some new jorts for this one, or are we sticking with the same thing? What's going on?
Love the jorts.
Probably the same jorts.
I love it. I love the jorts with the skull ring in the back pocket and everything. I love it. I love it, man. We're gonna play a little fun game with you tonight because we've speed rounded you in the past. We've done all this other shit, and I've been doing this with my kids lately, and it makes me laugh my ass off every day. And it's called word association. All I got to do is say one word, and then you got to say the first thing that comes to your mind. We're gonna call this Redneck word association. And Mike and I are going to throw a few things at you. And the first one kind of piggybacks off that last topic we were just talking. When I say this word, what's the first word that pops into your head? Rankings.
Bullshit.
Number 2, Mike.
Halloween.
Candy.
There you go. Number 3, tequila.
Oh, what's my tequila? Oh, I got a brand. I can't remember it right now, but that's the first thing that pops in my head.
You have a brand? Like you have your own brand, or you have a brand that you drink? Casamigos.
Oh, dude.
Let me tell you something. I'm not a tequila drinker. I actually turn into this alter ego that people call me Hector when I drink this shit, and I start fucking acting crazy and I get violent. But Casamigos might be the best tasting tequila.
It is delicious.
I don't I don't really drink. I mean,
how could I have guessed that?
And it's always because we're with like friends or whatever, maybe out on the island on the boat or something, but that's always my go-to because I heard it's supposed to be the best for you as far as alcohol goes.
You drank tequila one fine evening in Orlando when I had a fanny pack full of tequila shots in it, and everybody was digging their mitts in that bitch.
I do remember that.
I got a laugh out of the background there. There you go. Number 4, Mike.
Sunday.
Oh, fuck, we got to go back to work.
All right, number 5, Taylor Swift.
Just country songs, I guess. Love songs.
There you go. He didn't say Travis Kelce or football or anything like that. Good for you. Number
Pumpkin
6.
Spice.
Fall.
Oh, platinum.
Pussy.
Juice.
Go ahead. Pussy juice.
Cocktail.
I didn't even think about the fact that we put platinum. He said pussy, and the next one was juice. Jesus Christ. Unreal. Number 9.
Did he say juice?
What did you say for juice?
You guys said I think I went with mixer because someone said something about drinks. So
I know I said cocktail because it said pussy juice, a pussy juice cocktail from what is it?
40-year-old virgin.
Yeah,
it's not all about the shit stained balls. Yeah, we go.
Yeah.
All right, this is getting out of hand. Number 9, dinosaur.
T-Rex.
And last but not least, Mike, what do you got?
Jihad.
Legend.
There you nice. In Hod we trust, right? That's the saying. That's on the chain. Dude, we always love seeing you fight. We always love talking to you on the show. What do you got to say for anybody that is wondering why this fight got made or wondering if they should even tune in on November 3rd because they feel like they already know the outcome? Let them know why they should tune in.
I mean, because it's gonna be I'm gonna knock them out. Like I really just don't see it going any other way. I'm gonna go in there. I'm searching for the finish, and I'm gonna finish them. That's what I want to do, and that's what I do.
And then it's on to Salt Lake City.
Yes, sir.
Or are any of you guys traveling to Leeds with Jared?
I am not. I'm sure we got a few people going. I do not have a passport.
Well, you need to get one of those. Fucking world champion.
Right over there too. I think that's cool.
I mean, world champions need to be able to travel the world, Dave. What the hell?
Yeah, we need to see you in Thailand.
Bring this is over here to me. It's my throne. They come take it.
There you go. Man, awesome talking with you. We'll all be tuned in. And Mike, what do you got for the Redneck?
If you threaten to kick my ass, I will show up at Orlando, and I have to tell my wife like I have no other.
Listen,
I have no other choice.
Neither one of y'all show up.
I gotta go. I can't. There's no other choice. I don't want to die, right?
Mike, head your ass down there. I will not be down there. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, fun fact, it's also my daughter's birthday. So
it is November 3rd?
November 2nd.
November 2nd.
Yeah. Yeah, we have two birthday parties going on that weekend.
Unbelievable. All right, buddy.
Well,
thanks for what?
So want to give a shout out. I got 2 new sponsors that picked up in this one.
Hell yeah.
No Limits Fishing Charters. You guys know I'm a big fishing guy, so it's pretty cool for him to come on board. And then Linder Turf and Traffic. They're just like they make they supply like tractors and stuff like that and side by sides, and it's pretty cool to have these guys come on board and help me out. And I just wanted to make sure that I showed them a little bit of appreciation tonight.
What's better than a redneck fishing with a tractor? Sounds perfect.
It's about the most perfect freaking sponsors for you I've ever heard in my life. Next,
a beautiful marriage.
Let's get Skull or Copenhagen on there too, and let's create the trifecta. Let's do it.
All right, y'all.
All right, Dave. Thanks for coming on as always, and we'll talk to you soon. All right.
Yes, sir.
Take it easy.
Later. All right, Dave Redneck Mundell, confident going into his fight November 3rd against our next guest. We were supposed to give an autographed picture away of Dave Mundell.
We'll do it.
We'll do it. Do you
We'll
want to
do
throw a
it.
question out? You want to throw a question out there for the
No.
well, all right, let's talk
We'll do it. We'll do it.
let's talk to the man himself, who will be taking on Dave Mundell in only his 4th fight in the BKFC. Fast riser,
Yeah.
improved every single fight, and he really showed everybody some power in that last one against Blake LaCaze. Here he is, Doug ColdRed Coltrane. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys? Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
hear you.
we can hear you.
Let me make you big on
Awesome.
the screen. Nobody wants to see us. Hold up. There you go. What's going on,
Yeah,
man?
my-
How
Nothing much, man. How y'all doing, man? I'm glad y'all brought me on.
we're good. We haven't had you on. Like, we talked to you down in, I want to say,
Myrtle Beach.
Greenville or Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach. We had him. You did an interview with him in Myrtle Beach after he won. We did see him in Greenville, but I don't think we spoke to you like on film. We did behind the scenes.
Yeah, I think y'all talked to me at the press conference, but that was it.
That's right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Dude, here you are. You made it quick. I mean, in the same trajectory as Keith Richardson this past weekend, went in there 3-0 against the reigning defending champ and took home a title. And now, just 2 weeks later, you have the opportunity to do the same damn thing. What are your thoughts on how fast you rose to the top of your division and got yourself this title shot?
Oh man, shit, it came way faster than I thought. To be honest, way faster than I thought. I thought I was gonna have to grind a little more, and I was prepared to. But when I got the call, I mean, shit. I mean, I knew my next one was gonna be a tough opponent anyway. So I mean, when they said you want to fight the champ, and I'm like, how could I say no to that? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what we all here for, to test ourselves against the best. That's why in the first interview I talked to y'all in Myrtle Beach, y'all asked me then, what was I trying to do? And I said I was trying to fight the top guys in the division. So at the end of the day, man, this is my chance. It's my shot. It's my opportunity.
It's amazing.
And I'm very blessed and thankful for it. I thank God for everything. Everything's been going good, and in the camp, and I feel good. I feel strong. I'm ready. I'm just ready. I'm ready to go down there and yeah.
Do you have a Doug? Do you have a manager? Do you manage yourself, or you got a manager?
No, I don't have a manager.
All right,
so
so you took this phone call personally when they called you. That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you, like, if your manager called you and you thought he was joking that you got a title shot already, or what was going through your mind when they called you up and they said, "Hey, we got a fight offer for you." Were you expecting them to say you want to fight the champ, or like were you honestly not thinking that was coming over the phone?
Not at all. I thought I was fighting on the Virginia card. I thought I was fighting another guy that was supposed to be undefeated. I ain't gonna say no names. It was just that's what was told to me, that might have been my opponent or whatever. And shit, we was ready to go. Whatever happened, it didn't fall through. And then I got the call about Mundell, and I was like, right off the bat, I was like, man, of course I want that. Like, of course I want that shot. So, but yeah, it was a crazy moment, because I mean, at first I was like, man, no way. But I'm looking, right. So like, I'm looking at everything that's going on with the rankings, with the everything that's going on, and my name keeps getting pushed up. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? And then not only that, I feel like the epic call out is why Dave was so quick to say yes to me. And obviously, man, shit, I ain't got nothing but respect for dude. And, after the third, he gonna have some respect for me, but I ain't got nothing but respect for what he's done and for the sport, and he's definitely one of the top guys. So this is what I wanted, and shit, I get my chance to go out here and show people what I can do.
Yeah, I was telling Mike, and we were talking to Dave just a minute ago about your progression from your first fight against Concepcion, is that how you say his name? Concepcion down in Florida, to your last fight. And in that first fight that you had, it looked like you could have probably put him away early, but I think maybe you just like weren't familiar with the sport yet, so it ended up going off.
I broke my hand. I broke my
Oh,
hand.
is that what happened? Okay. Well, that explains.
I broke my hand. Yeah, I broke my hand in the second round. My hand was
Okay.
fucked up. I had to get a cast and everything after the fight. I thought I was gonna have to get surgery, but I broke my hand. Yeah, I definitely felt like if I didn't broke my hand, I would have
That
finished, bro.
explains a
But
lot.
yeah, bro, tough as fuck though. I will say that because I hit him with some good shots, and he, you know what I mean. He kept fighting, man. So I give him his props. But yeah, I broke my hand in that fight. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that
All
was
right. Well, then
yeah.
that totally explains it, because in the first 2 rounds, it looked like you were cruising to finish him off, and then you it just slowed up and it changed, and you kind of like laid back the last couple rounds. You were
I
still
literally
you were
took
the
I
last 2
literally
rounds.
took the fourth round off. Yeah, I took the fourth round off for sure.
But then you come
Because
back in your second fight, dude. In your second fight, the way you were just peppering that dude's body and just fucking his body up, it was a it was a beautiful scene. And
Brian Jackson.
yeah, you ended up he was taking some damage in the body there, and then you ended up finishing him off. And then you go on to Blake LaCaze in this last one, and you drop bombs on him. The progression is there. You've definitely won over the bosses, and yes, you got on the mic with Cyrus there and called him out. And I think you might be right there. Can you tell us a little bit about? Can you tell us a little bit about your fighting background? Because I personally am not super familiar with it. Are you coming from MMA or boxing? What's your background?
Yeah, I come from MMA background. That's why all this is is so special to me, man, because you know, if you look at my MMA record, man, it don't really show who I am. It don't really I think I let that's the thing, you know. Shit, I'm 37 years old, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, I've been doing this shit for like 15 years, on and off. I think I let life get the best of me, and it shows. If you look at my MMA record, it shows. And you know, that's why, you know, to be honest with you, my last MMA fight I lost, and I didn't know what I wanted to do anymore. I was 35 years old. You know, in my mind, if I was gonna go the MMA route, you know, I would have had to win at least 5 fights to even get to be looked at by Dana White or see anything like that. And you know, so like I was really on a crossroad of like where I was gonna go. I was 35 years old. I seen Dana White. I seen guys actually get the chance and be in front of him, and they be 35, 36 years old, and he didn't want to take a chance on them. So, you know, Nate Shook kept bugging the shit out of me about trying bare knuckle ever since it's been the beginning. But when it first came out, like no, I couldn't get anybody on board. I was always I always like something about it just intrigued me. I was like, man, you know what I mean? I like to do it just to say I did it. You know what I mean? And so like yeah, so you know, but anyway, back to the MMA background. I ain't trying to get off that because that's really what you asked about. But yeah, I've been doing MMA and training since 2007. My first amateur MMA fight was in 2008. Like I said, when I look back at it, you know, I didn't. If I would go back now, and I would just say fuck it and be broke, and I would have just trained and went balls to the wall. I would have just said fuck it, but I didn't. I got kids, so I kept you know, I kept putting MMA and fighting second because I got a family. I got, you know, my son. My oldest son is 17 years old. You know, he's a senior in high school. So you know, I've you know, since I started this journey, which I'm grateful for it because it saved my life. But since I started it, I've had a kid, and it kept me having to have a job and make sure I keep things straight. And like, so I mean, everybody's got a life story. I ain't trying to tell no sad story or nothing, but you know, basically, you know, shit didn't work out the way I wanted it to for MMA. I had a couple opportunities to like my last one was really supposed to be like that was it. That was supposed to be my coming out party. And you know, I didn't really have a great outing. And when the whole bare knuckle thing came about, I was at a crossroads. I was like, man, what the fuck, and the way it got tossed to me, it was like, hey, look, come try it. If you try it, you know what I mean, we'll sign you to a couple fights, you know what I'm saying, and see how it works. Maybe you could start a career. And shit, man, it just took off so fast. I can't even believe that I'm here.
You
But
blinked a
shit,
couple
I know
times
this.
and you're fighting for a title.
Right. And it's just been amazing, man. Because I mean, even the last one, man, like being the co-main event and shit, it was just like I didn't even know, it was just like boom, oh, co-main event. I'm like, fuck,
Doug,
Um,
was in
yeah,
your MMA background, was it that like take Lorenzo Hunt for example. Lorenzo is maybe the best to ever do it in bare knuckle fighting, but he had a subpar maybe even just
MMA career.
like a mediocre career.
Yep.
But grappling and jujitsu and shit just wasn't for him. He's a striker, you know what I mean? Was that like
yeah.
were you a grappler? Were you jujitsu? Was all that good
No,
for
yeah,
you, or would you rather
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, was it because you'd rather be striking that this fits you better?
Nah, actually, shit. If you watch my MMA fights, I'm more of a grappler. I was
Okay.
more of a grappler because I started my wrestling in high school, so like that was really my first base. Really coming into MMA, I was doing jujitsu. I got better at it. Obviously, my jits is decent too, man. My jits is pretty good too. I just
Is
it
is
was
that
it was
why is that why you leaned more towards jujitsu, because you felt like you were comfortable, but maybe did you not trust your striking as much?
Well, I mean, maybe in the beginning of my career, you know what I'm saying, I just went with what I knew, you know what I mean? And then
Mhm.
Yeah.
obviously if you was to extensively look, at for some videos or something online, you would start to see later on in my career, I started standing up more. I started using my hands and feet more. I actually had a couple professional kickboxing fights too. Um, so yeah, I started, using my stand up more and but no, I wouldn't say it was the ground that was. I'd say it was because me not being all in. The biggest thing about this last three fights that I had and this run that I've had is I've been all in.
Mhm.
Uh, I've literally gave it more of my time. When I found out I was fighting Mundell, I actually dropped down to part time from my job. So like, yeah, this run, man, I give all the credit to just being consistent and staying in the gym, staying ready, staying active, and that's where I was failing at in my MMA career. In my MMA career, I trained some, then life hit me. I don't be in the gym, then I pop up, do a fight, I training half ass, you know, just stupid shit that really, I mean, shit, I can't blame nobody but myself. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, shit happens. It is what it is. It didn't MMA. It didn't go the way I wanted it to go. I didn't make it to the UFC, but shit, I'm blessed to be here at BKFC, and the organization is massive. It's taking off, and shit, man, I'm just so excited to be here, man. I just can't wait to just go out here and give it all I got, man.
Listen,
And
the trajectory that they're on right now, in 4 or 5 years from now, they're going to be right up there with the UFC. And you go out there and win and win a title on November 3rd. When people talk about the BKFC in the future, the same way they talk about the UFC, your name will be right there in everybody's fucking conversation. You know what I mean? It's an incredible feat that you're on right now for sure. I want to ask you about your opponent. Your opponent, Dave Mundell. We just talked to him, and like we said, he's 7-1. We all kind of like think that Hector Lombard fight, he won that one as well. So like technically he could easily be 8-0. He's kind of a face of the organization right now, and you get your shot at him. What are your thoughts on Dave Mundell, his style in the ring, and how do you see the fight going? You don't have to give us any game plans or anything like that, but like, what are you thinking going in there on November 3rd?
I just got to make it my fight and not his, and that's just it. Obviously, shit, he's been around, so shit, everybody's been able to see, him kind of progress and the things he do. So, obviously I got to come in there with a sharp game plan and be the best I could be and make him fight my fight and that's basically it.
Like he has a ton of footage that you can watch and you can game plan off of course. And the beautiful thing about watching footage on Dave is that he has fought guys of every size and stature, and you're a tall, longer fighter, and you saw his fight against Francesco Ricci, so you can kind of like, not comparing yourself to Francesco Ricci, but you guys are a little similar in stature. You got long reach on him. Did you watch that fight over and over and try to
Yeah.
like figure out how he approached
Um,
Francesco?
I mean, I watched the fight, but I ain't really one of them guys that try to find every flinch, every move. At the end of the day, especially with bare knuckle, you got to go out there and fight your fight. And you know what I'm saying? You sitting back too much, and you're gonna catch something anyway. So I mean, yeah, I watched it. I took some things from it. I took some things from a couple other, things that I seen, and yeah, I mean, but dude ain't me, man. Like we don't fight the same, none of that. And that's the thing. Like I think people really, see I think they seen the not so crispy Doug, because the last two guys I fought, I had to go get them. You know what I'm saying? I had to go get them. He's got to come get me, and he's got to be smart while doing it, because I hit hard too, and everybody's seen that. So
When you fought Blake, I want to give you props on that, man, because Blake is 6'7" or 6'8", whatever the hell he is. He's a fucking monster. But you managed to get inside on him and tie him up and really hurt him in the clinch before you finished him off. It was a really beautiful performance by you that night. I was
thank you,
extremely
bro.
impressed. I was extremely impressed by that. You're a hip hop. Before we leave, I wanted to talk to you because Brian Socho always brings this up. He talks about like, how'd you get into hip hop and when did you start rapping?
When I was young, I was a kid, man. We was taking two radios, and they had the built-on recorder button on it. And we would hit record and had the other music playing on the other radio, and that's how we would record it with the little microphone, man. Just been doing it ever since. And my cousin, he got like all the Fruity Loops and the programs and stuff on the computer, and you know what I'm saying. So I just been kind of around it my whole life.
That's fucking cool.
Do you have albums and stuff? Have you dropped anything in the past?
I got, I got like songs and stuff, and stuff like that. Yeah, actually the last song I did is kind of hard. I did it about a year ago. It's the first time I dropped something in like years, because I just do it for fun. Like it ain't like
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make a career out of it or nothing, but I do it for fun. But actually, the last song I made is really hard. It would be cool if I could let y'all guys hear that sometime.
Yeah, where can we hear it?
I mean, I got it on my phone, like, but it's like, it's like what do you call it? Like it's like whatever on your phone, where I saved it to my phone.
All
Like
right.
Like an MP3 or like
yeah,
a
like an
music
MP3.
file. Yeah.
Yeah,
So are
music file.
you're born and raised out of North Carolina?
Born and raised in North Carolina,
raised.
man.
So your hip hop style, your rapping style is more what, like
Don't
Outkast?
say it. I thought you were about to say PD Pablo or something.
No. Because like me and Mike, I'm 40. I'm about to be 42, and Mike's about your age. He's 40. Like I grew up in the Northeast, where like these guys behind me here are like my fucking favorite music of all time. The Wu-Tang Clan. Biggie, like I got Wu-Tang. So like for me, it's like Wu-Tang and Mobb Deep and like Gangstar. Like Gangstar is one of my favorite of all time. Who were the influencers on you, and who would you compare yourself to?
I mean, I don't know who I would compare myself to, but most of my raps, like even like that song I was telling y'all about, like it's called All on My Mind. Like most of everything that I rap about, I don't never rap about like, cars or drugs, or I rap about my life, you know what I mean? Maybe when I was younger I might have rapped about some stuff that,
Mhm.
when I was out here doing crazy stuff, but like now, you know what I mean? Like the song I dropped like a year ago, like I talk about real stuff. So me, I mean, obviously, DMX, he's my favorite of all time. And then, like I like the New York guys. Like that's the guys I grew up on because I'm a little, like I said, my generation, we like, Jay-Z,
Jay-Z.
Nas, you know what I'm saying?
Well, like Dipset. You like
I
Dipset?
like Mobb Deep. Dipset was like that was my era too. Like, and when I was in high school, they was like everybody loved them. But I mean, I'm okay with them, but they won't ever like my favorite. I'm like Eminem, uh,
Oh, dude, nice.
50 Cent, you know what I'm saying, like Shady Aftermath. That whole era, that was like my era. Um, yeah, man. I mean, Dr. Dre and the boys. I mean,
So we're in
yeah, I rock.
we're even though you're down there in North Carolina and we're up here in the Northeast, that's all our shit. I mean, that's all DMX.
Yeah, I love
It's
the.
dark and
It's
hell is
dark and
hot.
hell is hot, or flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood. What are we?
Come on, man. I mean, either one of them, man. You can go with either one of them, but "It's Dark and Hell Is Hot" is the craziest
That's
classic
my
that he
one
Yeah.
too.
dropped for sure.
Do you remember Belly? And
Oh
that
yeah.
Belly
Belly,
soundtrack
Belly,
was fantastic.
man. Listen, the movie was crazy too,
The
man.
movie
I
was
can see it's
crazy.
a classic. It's a classic. You can watch it over and over. But I should have been watching that shit back then, man. That was, you know what I mean. I thought I was trying to live that movie and shit, like
Yeah.
doing crazy shit. But
Oh
yeah,
man,
nah, yeah,
DMX was like extra hard in that movie, dude. He was unbelievable
man.
in that. And Lennox Ox down in
You
Jamaica,
would
he was
think
the
you would
shit.
think DMX is like a 6'5" guy, wouldn't you? Like you would think he was like
He's like
be
five
like
foot
if you met
seven.
him in person, yeah, he like
Yeah.
yeah, he like a little dude. You like, oh man.
There was a song, the grand finale on that Belly soundtrack that I loved so much. Do you remember that song? I think it's
I don't
like
know. I
when
might.
you a dog for life, ride or die. That one.
It was
You
when
know what I'm talking about?
him and Ja
It's with
Rule get
Yeah, I
Nas,
along
think
with each
so.
other.
and Nas was in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That was
think
a,
so,
that was a
man.
great song.
Fucking awesome. Doug, man, we got to get together and hang out and listen to some music. We can't smoke blunts or anything like that because me and him are in the army.
Yeah.
It's
No
not like
blunt
it's
smoking
not
for
like
us.
no. Wait, I'll tell you right now, real quick,
The
before we get
stupidest
off the
thing ever.
subject.
Hey, go buy yourself some vodka and drink yourself silly, but don't smoke any weed because that's dangerous. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Right.
That's the way the military thinks.
Come on, man.
I'm gonna tell you right now, when I got It's Dark and Hell is Hot, no bullshit. I had a Pontiac Grand Prix with a cassette player. This is 1996, I want to say. Wait, maybe
Yeah.
1998, maybe whatever year it was. I had a red Grand Prix and a cassette player, and you would I got a DMX It's Dark and Hell is Hot cassette. And the entire fucking summer, dude, I would just put that thing in. It never left.
Just
It actually never left the cassette player. It would just play side one and then flip to
and then
side two.
flip.
Play
Yeah.
side two,
I
flip to
remember.
side one.
Listen,
It would
that
all
was the
summer
first
long.
album. That was the first album I ever got, man. Like the first album that like I went to the mall and got, but like you said, back then it wasn't a CD, it was a tape. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I just remember playing that tape, like just playing it to death.
yeah, it's crazy. And that, like me and Mike, we'll get off of this in a second. But dude, the Slim Shady LP, the first Eminem
Classic.
album, I had on cassette, and
Uh,
that
Me too.
was another one that I put it in the cassette player and just let that shit play for fucking months. I never took that shit out of the car; just played it out. It was crazy.
Classic.
Anyways, dude, awesome talking to you, Doug.
Yeah, so, Doug, if you ever run into Houston Alexander,
Talk hip hop.
yes, he
Yeah.
is fucking unbelievable. He has a foundation, Houston Alexander Foundation, where he goes around to like different schools and communities and stuff like that, and he teaches
Yeah.
like the history of
Hip hop,
hip hop and breakdancing and graffiti and all. He's awesome to talk to.
beatboxing,
Get out of here.
mix.
Yeah,
Really?
he's awesome.
Yeah,
Man.
he teaches all the foundation of hip hop and the
Yep.
history of it. It's unbelievable. He came on here and told us all about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
Well, damn, I hate I missed that.
and yeah, and Houston Alexander was a break dancer too. And like he posted a video like a couple months ago of his 53-year-old ass doing like a fucking windmill and shit. I was like, what?
Oh, really?
Yeah, unreal, man.
Yeah.
Hey, before we let you go, we did a little game with Doug and with Dave Mundell. It's called Word Association. All we're gonna do is we're gonna say a word, and you're gonna say the first thing that pops into your head. This is ColdRed Word Association. First word is Feldman.
Boss man.
Boss man. 2.
Hip hop.
Culture.
Culture. 3. Halloween.
Scary.
Scary. 4.
Knockout. You can use more than one word if you want.
Come on. First thing that comes to your mind. Anything it is. What is it?
Mundell.
Oh, all right. Number 5. Football.
One of my faves.
There you go. 6. Lorenzo Hunt.
Pound for pound king.
All right. Sorry, Mike. Go ahead, Mike.
7. Peach.
Georgia.
There you go. And soda.
Soda.
Do you call it pop or is it soda?
Nah, it's North Carolina. Yeah, North Carolina.
Soda in North Carolina comes by. All right, go ahead.
Because North Carolina say soda. We don't say pop.
There you go. Number 9.
Hammer.
I got those.
And last one, Sosha.
Sosha like Brian?
Yeah.
It's my boy.
There you go, my boy.
My boy.
You could have said anything. It's slick. You could have said hype man, anything. But dude, fun talking to you, Doug. Good to get to know you. We've been happy watching your progression through the sport of bare knuckle, and you get yourself a shot at a world title November 3rd. Congratulations to that, and we will totally be watching. Any final words to anybody that's paying attention?
No, I'm just excited to show everyone what I could do. And y'all tune in, you know. It's been a year of upset, so hey, who knows?
There it is, man. Thank you very much for coming on. Mike, you got anything else for Doug?
I wish we could be there, man. Best of luck to you this weekend with the fight, or next weekend, my bad. We got a couple of friggin' birthday parties to go to. I don't understand why our family has birthdays. It's crazy.
Hey man, it's all good. I know y'all gonna be tuned in, man. It's all good. I appreciate y'all for bringing me on. I really do.
Listen, what I'll do is November 3rd is my wife's birthday. I'll make her watch your fight on her birthday. How about
that? Yep.
She'll be asleep by the time you guys fight anyway.
We might force her to the casino and do a watch party, so we'll have a bunch of other people watching too, possibly.
There you go, brother.
Well, hey, look, man, I'm gonna just go out here and make sure I get y'all a show to watch, man.
Awesome. Doug, thank you for coming on, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, buddy.
Later, buddy.
All right. Later, man.
Later.
There he is, Doug ColdRed, Coltrane. I got to tell you, man, cool guy, super soft-spoken, driven. I'm excited to see what he does on November 3rd, because he's got a shot of a lifetime here. Only 4 fights into his career here. Now, very big difference between him and Keith, because Keith had about 30 fucking pro MMA fights under his belt.
Mm-hmm.
Doug had 3 pro MMA fights under his belt going in here. So he, like he said, he had a few kickboxing fights and whatnot, and some AMI fights, but a 3-0 Keith Richardson going in there against Reggie, I believe, is a big difference. And and also, you know, Keith has proven himself. Keith was called the best. What was he? The best regional MMA fighter to never win a title, or something like that. It was something along those lines.
Make it into the UFC,
or to make it, yeah. So, best of luck to Doug. We got to give away a couple things.
Got to be a lot of pressure for Coltrane, you know, to be in that position. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if he feels that pressure, but
yeah.
All right. You want to give away the Doug Coltrane one first? And
Doug Coltrane. Yes.
Doug
Let's
Coltrane.
see. Oh, you got something?
How about we just do this?
Okay.
What round and how did he finish his second fight?
Oh, go.
Go.
And how?
In the BKFC, and how? What round and how?
Attention to detail.
Attention to detail. What
Some
round and how
one phrases from the
did
Army.
he finish?
Attention to detail, soldier.
What
the hell's
round and
wrong with you?
how did Doug Coltrane win his second fight in the BKFC? Wrong.
Big Ben goes 2. Big Ben says 3rd round TKO. Carmine says 1 TKO.
You guys are all wrong.
Absent-minded, second right hand KO.
Ooh, there it is. That's the one.
That's the one.
That's the one. That's the one. Ladies
on
and
YouTube,
gentlemen,
absent-minded.
Absent-minded on YouTube with a
All the answers except no, Gavin jumped in there at the end. Gavin Ferris with 3rd round doctor stoppage.
All right. Do we have the picture that he just won?
Yes, we do.
What is that? Is that? Boom.
I don't know what that's from, but I feel like it's just a classic.
I know. It's like
I gotta get some video game soundage on here. Soundage.
There it is, man. You're
You know
taking absent-minded. You are getting that awesome picture of Doug ColdRed Coltrane.
Right,
possible.
baby.
You're possible. Let's go, boy. Possibly your next BKFC middleweight champion right there. And Mike, do we got something for the Dave Mundell?
You know, that's a really good question. And I feel like, so we've had him on before, right? Dave Mundell, and we've asked questions, and I hesitate to ask the same question. I don't want to accidentally ask the same question that has already been asked. You know what I'm saying?
How about
I have
this?
a really good one, but I think I already asked it.
Oh, I got a good one.
Yeah. What do you got?
He was supposed to fight one of the Gracies in MMA.
Ooh.
And the fight never came to fruition. What Gracie was Dave Mundell supposed to fight in MMA? Go.
Bare knuckle Gracie's family.
Not the bare knuckle Gracies. The legendary
Famous
Gracie
for
crew.
bare knuckle fighting.
It was not Henzo. No, it was not Henzo. He was right there. Bullfrog Actual, second person to answer it on YouTube.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Neiman Gracie. He was supposed to fight him back in 2014, and the fight was canceled. I do not know how or why, but dude, good job, guys. You got quick Google fingers. I either you knew it, which I'm impressed, or you got quick Google fingers. Good job. Bullfrog Actual. So you guys, you winners, make sure you DM us on Instagram and give us your address, because you guys are getting those photos to hang up in your houses. Congratulations to Absent-Minded and Bullfrog Actual. Awesome job, guys. We had a blast talking with these two guys tonight, dude.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
The Redneck and ColdRed. And I put soda in there because isn't ColdRed a Mountain Dew flavor?
ColdRed.
Oh, is it? I thought it was ColdRed. Shit, I don't know.
ColdRed is
ColdRed.
Yes, sir.
Hey, tomorrow night we got a big show for you guys. We got a ladies' night. It's the ladies. The ladies will be on tomorrow night. We're gonna start the show off with Jordan Rollstone, who's gonna be fighting Crystal Pittman. There she is, Jay Nasty herself. Jordan Rollstone will be on to start off the show. We're gonna follow her up with a girl who's kind of taken the BKFC by storm this year. Gabrielle Roman will be on the show.
Yes.
Waiting to hear some fight news on her. We hope she's fighting soon because she's an exciting fighter. Remember what I said? She fought at 145. Her next fight was supposed to be at her second fight was at 125. Her next one's supposed to be at 115. And I was saying she should go ahead and take a 135 after that, just for shits and giggles, to say her first 4 fights were in all 4 divisions.
That would be nuts.
We'll talk to Gabby Roman after Jordan Rollstone and then pull that graphic back up because we'll be talking to that girl right there, Crystal Pittman, after Gabby Roman. And we may have a fourth special guest on the show tomorrow night.
We won't tell you who it is.
We haven't figured out that. We haven't figured out how we're going to do that yet. So possibly a fourth guest, but it is absolutely ladies' night tomorrow night. Shout out to the Shave Parlor. Let's go with that one more time. Shave Parlor. Thank you, guys. Let's see if we can remember all their names.
Ooh.
Omar, Jay, Heather, Nasty Nate. Nasty Nate, who don't
I thought it was Naughty Nate.
Oh, Naughty.
Yes.
Nasty
Naughty Nate, because he doesn't.
Wasn't Nasty Nate?
Nate.
Nasty Nate tried to make him his bitch. Make me his bitch, and Squirrel Master comes out of nowhere and says, I'm his bitch. I'm somebody's bitch. Remember that? Half Baked. Nasty Nate was the big dude. Yeah. And then Tommy Chong was Squirrel Master. So shout out to the Shave Parlor. Thank you very much for
fades and shaves in Cape Coral, Florida.
Yeah, they are the BK Bet Shark, the smartest guy in bare knuckle betting in the world. So get over to
what do we say about BK Bet Shark? If you don't like money, then don't
follow him.
BK Bet Shark.
Yeah, you don't like money, don't follow him. That's the rules. And last but not least, our newest sponsor. Thank you very much. Dynamic Life. Go to www.livdynamic.com. You can become
a patient in 20 seconds.
Boom.
Weight loss, sexual health, and anti-aging. If you don't know what those things are, you better jump on Live Dynamic and check it out, because you probably are interested in one, two, or all three of those things, as I am a couple of those things.
Who wouldn't want to lose a little bit of weight, get a little bit of stronger, and live a little longer? You know what I'm saying? You know, fuck like a 19-year-old again, for God's sakes.
Get in there. Have fun. Live
listen. Go to the BK Bet Shark, win yourself some money. Go down to the Shave Parlor, get a nice little fade, and then go pound. Never mind. Let's get out. Let's get the hell out of here, Mike. You got anything else for the peoples? See you tomorrow night. Peace.